How will Leeds United survive in the Premier League? After deadline day disappointment, Leeds United's job has just got twice as hard. We're going to talk everything over the last few days, from Robbie Evans' interview to Leeds United not making any free transfer signings. Let's just get into this. All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Hope you've all had a fantastic Thursday and you're ready for the latest Ollie Ward upload. Obviously, it is international break. It is just back to Leeds United news. No Leeds United transfer news, but we have to have a bit more of a chat. Before we get into it, you guys know what to do. Be sure to smash that like button. The video a couple of days ago after the deadline day, it went brilliant. I love all your comments. Thank you for all that. And you smashed over 400 likes, so let's try and do it again. Also, subscribe if you are new. We are 70 subscribers off 20,900, and get your comments in, your thoughts on just everything surrounding Leeds United right now, because obviously we've all calmed down a bit from deadline day, but we are still in not the best of spots. Yesterday, obviously, Leeds managing director Robbie Evans came out and said some crazy things. I was going to do a video yesterday, but I just thought I don't want to put loads of videos being negative around Leeds United. I don't believe Leeds United fans like us need that right now. Obviously, we can express our opinions, but he didn't make anything better. Robbie Evans came out and saying things like, we spent everything we could, all this stuff that they're not going to use the January market. They're not looking at free agents either. The likes of Josh Brownhill has just gone out to Saudi. He would have been a perfect addition to a Premier League side on a free. He said it was a bad day on top of a very, very good window. And little things like they're saying they can spend every penny, despite the fact they were going to put 10 million on Wilson and they saved 70 to 75 million for Muniz and Pajal. So it didn't really make much sense what Robbie Evans came out and said. And like I said, a disappointing time for Leeds United. I think I know that Leeds United needed attacking signings, and the fact we didn't land one was a disappointing day. I said this, I reiterated the point in my last video. I don't believe it's been a bad window at the start of the window necessarily, and I don't think it's been a bad start to the season at all. We've got 4 points from 9. We've come up against Everton, Arsenal, Newcastle, some tough sides. Obviously, we got beaten heavily against Arsenal and a disappointing cup run against Sheffield Wednesday as well. But overall, not a bad start to the season going into the first international break. We knew that. I think after the Newcastle game, everybody said Leeds are 2 signings away from not being comfortable and staying up, but having a really good fight for it, because I know Sunderland, I know Burnley and Leeds have all started okay, but a few seasons ago when we were last in the Premier League, we started very well then, and we ended up getting relegated. We were third or fourth come the international break when we were last up under Jesse Marsh, but it doesn't mean anything. A great start doesn't mean anything when you have 30 plus games to go. And again, Robbie Evans coming out and saying, after the transfer window, you're then like 10 games away from January and things like this. But then he continued to say that they're not going to use the January market. What I don't think that the board understand is we are 1 or 2 injuries away from this team looking championship again. And I think that's really, you got to look at it honestly. And you can't expect all these new signings to come in and fit in straight away. There's doubts for me around Lucas Perry so far. I think he's looked at a tad bit shaky. I like him though. I do like him, and I think he will improve. But a goalkeeper spot for Leeds United over the last few years is key, and we need a good goalkeeper. And he's been a bit shaky for me personally. But yeah, you see the likes of Tanaka and Ampadu being out. Yes, Gruev, Longstaff, and Stack can do a job in the middle of the park, but this transfer window made no sense to me in the end, and it will make Leeds United's job of surviving in the Premier League 10 times harder. And I don't understand how how the 49ers, the likes of Robbie Evans, haven't seen what the massive fault of the problem is, the massive fault where we need attacking signings. We went for Harry Wilson, Muniz, Pajal. They understand we need them, but they didn't get it done. And there's still plenty of players out there. The only one out of them, I think Muniz and Pajal, you could argue, is a statement marquee signing. Harry Wilson, for me, was a panic one, and we still didn't get that over the line. I don't want to keep talking deadline day because it's over now. We need to focus on the team we've got. But if you look at it, yes, it's good, but do half of our players get into any other sides in the Premier League? I don't know. There's a handful of them that do, obviously, but I just think Leeds United's survival now is just got 10 times harder. And of course, the scapegoat will be Daniel Farke. Of course, it will be that he's not good enough for the Premier League, but he's been crying out. I'd love to know right now how Daniel Farke is feeling. He must feel absolutely betrayed by the board that they didn't get this done. And a lot of people were saying in my comment section, saying like, "What do you mean we're in trouble? You know, some players just didn't want to get it. It's not their fault. It didn't land off and stuff like this." Why are you taking it down to the last day to get in your wingers then, or to get in your players? It shouldn't be. Leeds had their hands on that. They were sitting playing with their penises for the last few weeks, while the likes of Sunderland, Burnley, teams around us getting stronger and stronger. Leeds United went, yeah, we'll be all right. I think what the thing is as well is, you know, when I look at our team, I'm just Leeds biased and think, yeah, we're good. We're good. The attacking line of, if you go Metcher, Dan James, Willie Nonto, is that good enough to stay in the division? It's a very strong championship side, but is it strong enough to stay in the Premier League? Daniel Farke has done a brilliant job right now in the Premier League, opening 3 games. And so the players, but the thing is, the season's long. The season is very, very long. If I wanted to put out my strongest team right now, it would be Lucas Perry in goal, Jaden Bogle, Roden, Pascal, Goodmanson. Solid back line. Middle of the park, if everyone was fit, would be Tanaka, Ampadu, and Stack. But right now, it's Gruev, Longstaff, Stack. And then the front 3, you want to say maybe... I don't know. That's where the options go. You know, maybe Nonto, Okafor, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And if anyone else said that in the Premier League, if they weren't a Leeds fan, if Burnley were gloating that they had Okafor, Nonto, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, would we be jealous? Or are we just Leeds bias? You know, and then you look that the replacements for the left wingers and right wingers are Aronson and Jack Harrison. That isn't Premier League quality to me. And that makes Leeds United's survival rate so much harder. It really, really does. I'm not, you know, at the start of the season, I predicted Leeds United to go down because I thought we were going to follow the sort of same pattern that has been the last few seasons with newly promoted sides. I love this team so far. I want them to do well. Of course, I do. I want to come on here and be positive with you guys, but I think you guys all know the deadline day window or the last day has left a sour taste in a lot of Leeds fans' mouth. And then when the likes of managing director Robbie Evans comes out saying we spent everything we could, we're not going to go out in January and look for it. We don't want to spend money in January. We don't want to look at free agents either. I just don't think they know what they're doing. I really, really don't know. I'm so confused with it. And I think a lot of Leeds fans are, and Leeds content creators and everyone I've spoke to, the back end of that transfer window on Monday night was nothing short of a disaster, a disgrace, if I'm being completely honest, an absolute disgrace. Sunderland signed 2 players before our team woke up, you know, and it's just the likes of Melier still kicking around. He got offers, but apparently they weren't good enough. You're about to be the 4th choice goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? We're keeping mediocrity around to keep players happy. We needed to be stricter. We got rid of the likes of Laji Ramazani when his replacements aren't better. Jack Harrison, Brendan Aronson aren't better than Laji Ramazani. Yes, we don't see how he trains day in, day out. I understand. And Daniel Farke, at the end of the day, he's probably made the decision on Laji Ramazani, in fairness. But he's a talent. And I think we've weakened ourselves. And we're a couple of injuries away, personally for me, from being a championship team. And the thing is, what's annoying is I didn't want to come on here and be negative. But how will Leeds United survive? How? It's not in scoring goals. It's probably keeping them out. And I think when Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Metcher, who have had decent starts in a Leeds United shirt, 100%. And this isn't me being negative towards the players we've got now. I want to reiterate that point. I think the players we've got now are going to put an effort in. I really, really do. And I think they've started off the season brilliantly. But obviously, you know, form can die out. Permanent is, you know, it lasts. Class lasts. Form is temporary. And hopefully with this Leeds United side, how many class players have they got to stay in the Premier League? Because financially, for the fans, for everything, Leeds United need to buck the trend and stay in the Premier League. But can we do so? We're into the international break. Can you tell? Guys, get your comments in. I want to know. I didn't want to be too negative. I feel like I've been quite negative. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, subscribe if you are new as well. And yeah, smash that like button. All that good stuff. Let's just talk. Let's talk in the comments. Let's get it going. Smash that like button. I've been Ollie Ward. You guys have been excellent. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheery. Oh.